Alright guys, we have just started the Pennsylvania Wilds X BDR. It's a new section that the BDR has created here in a couple states. Right now it's just a big loop that connects two sections of the through BDR that goes north-south through central PA. We were originally going to plan on picking up the BDR where we stopped, right where it connects the original BDR, but we got it was mostly on roads, and we were actually going to backtrack to get there and actually go on the BDR, come back on the BDR. So we decided, picked up just north of State College in Wadle, Pennsylvania is where we picked up. It was mostly dirt roads. Then we picked up some dirt here in Kephart Dam. It's a really cool dam here that there's a couple fishermen, fly fishermen that are getting, they say they're catching some stuff. So we got 3 days planned. It took us about 3 hours to get out here from Ohio. And so we're gonna get a couple miles under our belt tonight, get north of somewhere just a little bit north of 80, make an early camp tonight, do a big push tomorrow, and finish it up on Sunday. So it's about 250 miles is the whole loop. So the plan is to get it all done in 3 days. So let's go do Pennsylvania BDR's Wild. TJ found this trail on Onyx. It's a down and back trail. It goes down to the river and back. Corporation Dam, it's called. All right, so coming down the road, there's actually a cabin here. It's really, man, it's a nice cabin. I wouldn't mind taking it. TJ was a ways ahead of me. I dropped into 4 low just to use the traction control and manual first gear to come down there, so I'm not riding my brakes, and came to about just right past this tree up here, and TJ said for me to stop. It gets really narrow, and so he's going down further to try to turn around to see what's down there, but he said it was a little too narrow for me. Just I am significantly longer in this Gladiator than he is in the JKU. Alright, so we came up this power line trail, and thought we had a good viewpoint, but it's just foggy and rainy. But saw this little trail with these orange trail markers, and came up to this really weird tombstone. It says Wildcat Rock. 3 wildcats shot from this rock by Geo A. Oswald of 125th 4th Street, Comock, Pennsylvania, November 20th, 1946. Onyx on the map shows creepy tombstone. So yeah, look, not really sure what this backstory is on that, but bet in the fall this is a cool place to come out and see the leaves changing. But we have a foggy or misty rainy day, so trails aren't that bad so far, really not even that muddy. Alright, we're gonna continue on. Alright, so we came down Reactor Road. It was about a 1 mile hike, though. There was a gate on the road, so we hiked it down. Just a big open field with the former site of the Curtis Wright reactor. So when we get internet, we're going to have to look this up. But came down a very well-maintained road. Probably was paved within the last 5 years or so. There's some cracks in it, but it's been sealed recently at least. And right as soon as you hit the sign, it deteriorates to nothing. But just an open field. So there is on Gaia, there is a pentagon shaped border, land boundary border. So that's obviously where it is, but it's weird because this site is not in the center of that pentagon. So, but hey, it is what it is. Came here to see what it was all about. We will get online and figure out what the Curtiss-Wright reactor was. All right, so we had a really successful day. It was a lot of fun. Went to 2 of the state parks that were mostly dirt road. I'd say half the day was dirt road, half the day was paved road. So, but we got to see that nuclear reactor site. We got to look into it more. That was pretty cool to see. So we tagged up two campsites, 9 and 10. We talked to one of the rangers. They said those would be good. But I think there was some misunderstanding on tent camping, car camping, and stuff like that. So just kept coming up. We're here at spot 1, and looks like a nice spot. It is on a busy road, which kind of isn't what I really like. I like more of a dispersed, but we're in a state forest, so we're stuck with those laws, not national forest and BLM land laws. But we got a park bench, fire pit. There is a fire burn, which I'm not very sure about because it's been raining. But we got the lava fire pit going. We're gonna get that up, fired up, start up, and we're gonna start making dinner. So let's get camp going. All right, so we got camp made. Getting dinner ready. I am trying something new tonight. As you guys all know, I'm always doing my stir fry, but we are trying to make nachos. So I just have a cooking plate on the bottom with cheese and bacon. See if that works. Stoves for. Then we're gonna do steak fajitas tonight. Never done them before, so it's gonna be a work in progress. So we're gonna do the steak on the scuttle, warm up the shells on the stove, and see how it works. Tomorrow is my world famous stir fry, so we'll end on a good note. We got the lava box going, got some nice heat. Makes a pretty big flame when we turned it on, but it's working. So here TJ's working on home for the night. I'll get the camper opened after dinner. So din time. It's a nice site. Like I said, it's right here on a main road. Little brook back here. All right, so the nachos turned out pretty good. The pan, this cookie sheet might be a little bit of a sacrificial cookie sheet tonight. I think I got a little burned, but there is another tray that you can buy from Tumbo Tusk. It gets it off the ground a little bit, so it might not burn. So I had it on like a low medium heat. So, but looks pretty good. All right, so here's the fajitas. They worked out pretty good, I think. Not Marco, but sorry Marco if I'm disappointing you. But tortilla shells getting warm on the fire. I just bought this hibachi set, and they are sharp knives, but they actually cut really, really well. So. I think we haven't tried them yet, but I think so far we might have a successful dinner for something other than stir fry. All right, so we dinner's all up. It was a very good success. I got my camp made. TJ's working on getting his camp made. Dishes and everything's done. So because the Zargus cases are waterproof, I'll be able to leave those out for the night, which just leaves more space open in the camper. I leave my backpack. I'll bring my camp backpack up to the top, but I'll leave the stove inside just because it's really not waterproof. So this lava box, man, this thing is really nice. It's not throwing out a lot of heat because we're kind of sitting away from it. We have it up on the camp table, so picnic table. But just throwing off a little ambience. It's really not that cold out, so I think we're going to call it a night pretty soon. We're just hanging out, chit-chatting, so we will see you all in the morning. Morning, guys, from camp. Waking up, we're just breaking camp now, going to hit the road. We did 85 miles. We looked at Gaia last night. We did 85 miles, which was only about 4 hours of driving and included about a 45-minute, 1-hour hike down to that reactor site. So we made some pretty good miles. We're hoping to make do more on that today, obviously. So goal is to get up to, I forget the name of it, it's like the Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania. It's supposedly a really good place for photos in the mornings and stuff like that with fog. So that's our goal for today. We didn't pack any lunches. Goal is to stop in the local towns for lunch. So that's what we're doing. It is a busy road. I said it last night. This is a very busy road. So leaving the campsite better the way we found it. We didn't find any trash last night, but pack up lots of trash. Got a little cold last night, so I had the heater going, and then around midnight it got to about 89 degrees in the camper. I was sweating, so I just turned off the heater, and I woke up, it was 45 inside. So maybe leave the heater on high to get nice and toasty, and then put it on a lower setting when I go to bed. But slept really good last night. It is nice that the inside of the tent is almost like a blackout, so when it's bright like this, it's still dark in there. So all right, so let's go hit the road. So we're here at the Elk County Visitor Center. Really nice new building. So there's an elk viewing area around here. So let's go inside and see what they have. Oh, what an absolute beautiful building they have here. This is their center. Top of this preserve. There is supposedly elk in these in here, but they haven't seen any today. They're most active in the mornings and the evenings. So unfortunately, we're probably not going to see anything today. Bunch of walking trails, picnic tables. So really nice facility. Inside it's very well done. So let's go hit the road. Continue on the PA BDR. Now it is called, I believe it's called the PA BDR Wilds X. X is the new routes that they're making that spur off of the original BDRs, but this is the Wilds because we're in PA Wilds. This part of the state is the Wilds area, so that's why it's called the Wilds. So let's continue on. All day yesterday and today we're the BDR is pretty much following these streams, and there's hunting lodges and property houses all throughout these that we're passing. Here's a pretty cool footbridge going over to someone's little old log cabin. Now, if you're really quiet, in the wild, we have spotted TJ shooting his photography. And if you're real quiet, you don't want to scare him. When he gets scared, he attacks really bad. Let's be quiet and watch him in his natural element. Alright, so far the day's been going pretty well. Been on a bunch of gravel and had lunch in Emporia. Town is in Pennsylvania. Cool, good Sheetz restaurant, Sheetz gas station. So hit the road again. Now we're working our way to the called the Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania. That's where we're hoping to make camp tonight. We're really not sure about how many actual miles we have left to do. Just hard to judge it with the guy, but we look like we'll probably make it. You know, it's 12:30 right now. Look like we'll make it there before 5-ish. We're thinking at the latest. So. Making really good time. It's been a really good day. So we back up on the highway. It's really not too bad being on the highway. We're able to get down some miles, but the road, the gravel roads, even for the unmaintained winterization roads, have been in really great condition. So there's not much corrugation. Makes life a lot easier. So we're having a lot of fun, seeing some really cool sights. So clip it on. Alright, so now we're in Sizerville State Park. This BDR pretty much is just going between state parks, and it's really, you know, compared to Ohio, it's really awesome to have all these dirt roads and well-maintained dirt roads. Salt Run Vista is where we're at. Really cool overlook of the valley below. Nice area. You got some picnic tables here. Nice pull-off area off the road. All right, so now we're coming around the Hammersville Wild area, and there's a big natural gas field we're kind of been driving through and around. You can see they're removing some of the old well heads, either capping them or replacing them with a newer design. But back a little ways, we went through a very large industrial complex, and it was a pumping station or something like that. So, but it's been a very well maintained road, and making good time here. Not much to really see. We're kind of in between some hills. And it looks like they've done a lot of clear cutting around here, so there hasn't been many vistas. So in the fall, I think late September through October would be the absolute best time to do this trail, or to do this section of the PA Wilds. The leaves would just be absolutely beautiful to see. Right now there's not much to see. Even the overlooks, it's just, you know, trees with no leaves on them. So, but it's been a really good trail. We're having a lot of fun clubbing away. We're trying to make it, like I said, to the Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania. That is tonight's goal to get to. Alright, so here we are. We're in Bucktail State Forest. We're on a shelf road. It's pretty with this creek. We just passed over on it, but it's a very narrow road with some steep side-offs. I've been trying to think about what I'd rather drive on, like going up the Engineer Mountain with a sheer drop-off or something like this. And I think my vote is Engineer, because at least Engineer, you're going a lot slower and it's a little bit wider. This is a lot more narrow, so we're plugging through. It's pretty good. We're making good time. So far we've done 142 miles. Most of the miles today are on dirt. We did do a good section on pavement, but so far we've been mostly on dirt. Still have a lot of private property with houses and a lot of walk bridges across the streams and the brooks, or wherever the waterway is, not rivers. But a lot of really nice cabins up here. So maybe have to look into a cabin up here in one of these state forests in the Wilds area of Pennsylvania. All right, this is a more unmaintained road. Looks like not many people have been on this road this year. So obviously, definitely, I didn't see a gate for closing for the winter time, but started out pretty good. There's been no houses back here. This is a really good. This is a good fun road to drive. This would be fun, and if you have a little bit of snow or whatnot. I was not driving at these speed. This would be really pretty. Or just in this whole trip, we've been following these streams or these brooks or some type of waterway the entire time. So it's been really nice. There's still been a lot of fly fishermen from one of the signs we saw, we think that this is opening weekend for trout. So that's probably why everyone's been out. It's a nice weekend, get out. All right, so we did about 10 hours of driving. Well, 10 hours start to finish. Just got here to camp. This is our fourth site we found. So in Pennsylvania State Forests, you have to camp at a designated campsite. So you can't do primitive camping. So, but a lot of them were not flat or large. This was, or there was one that sloped real well, but it was very open and real windy. So this works out really well. TJ put his tent right there. We can do the dinner right from the back of the Jeep. So we're gonna get going. So today was a real success. I'm gonna say I didn't look at the numbers on the Gaia, how many miles we did, but we got to where we wanted to be here at the Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania. So we'll get up in the morning, get to see that, and we don't have that much left to do, I don't think. It's hard in Gaia, if you guys know how to do easy, when you already have a track to go from here to here on a track, how many miles left, leave it in the comments to help me out, but I haven't figured that out yet. But let's get dinner made. Tonight on the menu is world famous Rob's stir fry on the Scottle. So let's go get dinner made. Alright, so here's a little bit of how we're working camp tonight. We don't have a little picnic table, so we're doing it more the primitive way. The ground is kind of wet, so I'm leaving the Zargus cases covered up on that log just so they're not getting too muddy. Kind of a pain walking so far back, but got the rice, water boiling for rice. And this one is where I'm going to be just keeping the stuff warm on the griddle. I already got the broccoli cooking. Got the peppers are steaming. Next goes on is the chicken. We got the lava box going. It is actually throwing off quite a bit of heat. It feels really, really good. It's gonna be a cool night tonight. So dinner is cooking. Good morning from another cool morning at camp. It's about 30 degrees out. Stayed warm, nice in the camper last night. Worked out pretty well with the heater this tonight. It's a learning process. So the other night it got too hot and I turned it off, and should have just turned it low, and then it got cold. Last night I just had it on low, and then it got a little warm, so I just closed the little hatch there to gain entry up there, and it cooled off. And then this morning I opened it up and it heated up pretty good. So everything's going good. TJ's broken his tent down. He ran out of gas in the middle of the night with the Mr. Buddy heater, so he had a little bit of a cold night. One tank ran out about 11, then the other tank ran out around 6 a.m. So we are just breaking camp now. Gonna hit the road. We don't have that many miles to do. I think we have less than about 80 miles or so. We're gonna go check out this Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania, it's called. That's we ended up getting real close to that. So that's today's plan. We actually found I didn't do a little campsite tour. So I found this is a nice big campsite. A lot of the campsites here, though, are not flat, or they were very exposed. So, but this one's a big one, and then right here by the campfire, it was a very flat area. So it worked out really well. So still it's gonna take a couple more trips for me to figure out cases and where to put stuff and how to make camp and all that. But that's what this is all about, is a learning process. Probably always be tweaking something. So we're gonna break camp and hit the road. All right, so we are at the overlook here, and this is the Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania. There's a couple more. There's a further up the river. There's another. There's a campground that opens in May, and then there's some outlooks over there. But this is the first one on our way out. All right, so here we're starting our last section of dirt, I believe, of this section of the BDR until we literally get on I-80, which is kind of cool. We're going to be ending this section of the BDR where we actually ended the 2020 BDR at a 5 Points crossroad. And that's where we had camp for the last night. So that's where we're going to make it, and that's where we're finishing up. So this is the last section of dirt. It's been a really good trip so far. Majority of the road is on dirt and it's in good condition, so it makes it a really easy, fun weekend trip. We do have to push down the miles. Fuel became a situation for me for a little bit. Yesterday when we stopped for lunch, I forgot to top off the Jeep, and came down to got a little lower than I wanted to, but it's all lessons learned in this. You can't, even some of the bigger groups have forgotten to get gas at stops. You just need to plan it out and make sure you do it. It's always best to top off first before you have lunch, instead of let's get lunch and then we'll get gas after. So, but we worked out pretty well. We were really remote. Cell phone coverage was very, very limited. I'd say most of this trip we were not in cell phone coverage. I'm gonna overlay the maps of on Gaia, because they have all the cell phone companies' maps. Overlay it and see how accurate it was. But we got the last couple miles. I think it's good. We got about 20 miles left to do. So. We're here at the Mid-Atlantic 8 harder section. We're not sure if this is off the BDR or the wild section, because we have kind of have them overlaid on both of them, and we don't have any cell coverage up here to back it up. So this is the section I have. I went in and edited some GPX files for this trip, and to declutter my map. So we're going to do the harder section here. Walters Road is what we're going to be taking. So from my experience on doing these harder sections on the PA BDR, it's not harder for Jeeps. I think it would be harder for motorcycles, and this route was created for motorcycles, but for Jeeps and such, it's not that bad. So all right, let's go hit the section. All right, so far this harder section for even the motorcycles, it seems the same. There are some switchbacks coming up that I think might be what they're considering harder. So let's just gonna push on and down. All right, now we're joining up on some switchbacks here up this mountain. It's definitely a lot less traveled road. So this must be what is part of the more difficult section. I mean, there are a lot of down trees, so we might have to break out the chainsaw on one of these, I have a feeling. But we'll see. It doesn't look like there's been much maintenance at all to this. I'm not sure if anyone's driven through it, but it's definitely a lot less traveled road. This is definitely a significantly harder. I think on a motorcycle this would be a fairly difficult, time-consuming ride. Nothing impossible. We've obviously done a lot harder trails in Moab and Colorado and such like that, but this is harder in the sense of it's not a well-groomed dirt road. It's a lot of loose rock and potholy, I guess. So, but it's fun. We're doing about 5 to 10 miles an hour versus 25 to 30 miles an hour on the other sections. So, but this is really fun. All right, so we are at Camp 1, where we finished the last trip of the BDR in 2020. So this is official Officially the end of the PA Wilds BDR. It was a really good trip. I'll add up all the miles. We're right around about 280 miles, I think. Really great trip. Got a little cold, had a great time, so can't wait to see what we got stuff planned for every month for the summer, so can't wait to see what's next. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you next time. Did we get the shot? We got the shot. Good.